Hopefully everybody has fun for the rest of the week if you're outdoors here in New Mexico.
Yeah, a little bit of a break in terms of the rainfall. We saw some rainfall in parts of the metro yesterday. So while downtown didn't get much rain, we saw the very large array, some big cumulonimbus clouds forming. Cumulonimbi, those are big puffy rain clouds that often produce not only lightning, but of course rain. And we saw the dark clouds producing sheets of rain, some hail as well, some reports of flooding, and even some reports of flooded roadways on Interstate 25 and parts of the Rio Grande Valley. So yeah, you saw the raindrops yesterday evening. The storm clouds also way off in the distance as well. We've since cleared out with mostly clear skies, or just light enough that we can see just some puffy clouds occasionally, but also some starry skies as well. So very enchanting start across the lane of enchantment, but also what we are dealing with is fog just to the south of Ribera and to the north of Encino and Vaughn. You can see that fog patch. And otherwise, we're dealing with mostly good visibility elsewhere, but we're also dealing with just a very small patch of fog in the Jemez Mountains of the Valles Caldera. So something to keep an eye on because we're pretty humid. Albuquerque, a little bit more of a humid morning out there, and Deming as well because of the storms. More on that just a bit. From Alamosa to Tucumcari, Clayton, and Ruidoso and Roswell, humidity values around 70 to up to close to 100%. There's that lone thunderstorm now weakening in Hidalgo County near Deming. Very high humidity, very high dew point temperatures with air temperatures very close to the dew point temperatures. That's where we receive close to 100% relative humidity values. Your air temperature 66 in Deming. Meanwhile, we're 63, a little bit drier in Albuquerque compared to Deming. 36, very chilly in Alamosa. We're a bit chilly out there in northern mountain communities compared to southern areas. Much warmer in Carlsbad, 69. We're sitting at 53 Santa Fe, 65 in Roswell, and we're sitting at 50 right now in Farmington. You guys are going to be warming up in the lower 80s this afternoon. A little bit cooler than yesterday in Albuquerque, around 86, 87 today, 89 yesterday. In Deming to Carlsbad, a little bit cooler because of more thunderstorms likely for today. In Ruidoso, by around 3 o'clock, it may drop in the upper 60s because of more thunderstorms as well, reaching the low to mid 70s this afternoon. So your monsoon meter today, a 6 out of 10. We are likely going to see more thunderstorms to the south and east, mostly south and east of Albuquerque. Fast-moving storms moving in that direction to the east-southeast. Severe weather is possible, especially out in northeastern New Mexico, with the Storm Prediction Center issuing a slight risk of severe weather in parts of Union County especially. That's where at least a few storms are likely going to produce some briefly heavy rain, some large hail and strong winds. A slightly lower chance of that in Tucumcari and a very low chance of severe weather from Albuquerque and far southern New Mexico. But nonetheless, storms are still a possibility in the Sandias. They'll form around lunchtime in the central mountains to the Gila National Forest in the northeast highlands, but they'll really get going around 4 or 5 o'clock. They'll pick up steam near Clayton, also Encino and Vaughn, Villanueva, Trementina, near Las Vegas, Zamora, Ruidoso, and Roswell, and also in the Mimbres Valley. Now, the saving grace with these storms is that they'll be fast moving, so that heavy rain threat with the flash flooding threat will be not too widespread. Around the 9 o'clock hour, those storms will dissipate. Leftover storms may move from the South Valley toward Roswell by overnight into tomorrow morning. And fewer thunderstorms will form tomorrow, but they'll still be very likely in the Guadalupe Pass near Carlsbad. If you guys are attending the Isotopes games for the next few days, with a 6:05 start today, 82 degrees. At an 11:05 start tomorrow, 74 degrees, partly to mostly sunny, but Friday stormier. Temperatures will drop in the 70s for a 6:35 start. With a monsoonal flow of moisture with this high pressure moving in, that low pressure moving away, drier weather in the northeast highlands will move away, producing more thunderstorms in the Rio Grande Valley and southwest New Mexico, something that we'll keep an eye on. So Durango, near 80 today, a little bit cooler ahead, lows in the 30s and 40s. And in places like Pagosa Springs, mostly sunny and 75. In places like Cuba, Gallup, and Chile, temperatures in the 80s, drier compared to yesterday. Storms still possible to likely from the lower elevations to the higher elevations near Lordsburg to Socorro. Temperatures mostly in the 80s. Almost all areas just below 90 degrees today. Cloudcroft, 60s. Meanwhile, Carlsbad, upper 80s. Fort Sumner will have to watch out for some storms. Some patchy morning fog near Fort Sumner, Santa Rosa, and also near Moriarty to the east. And that moisture will lead to thunderstorm development this afternoon. Highs in the 70s in Mora, partly to mostly sunny, storms mostly to your southeast. Red River, Angel Fire, chilly mornings and cool afternoons in the 20s and 30s to start, in the 60s and low 70s in the afternoons. And Santa Fe, more storms more likely, especially on a Friday. Estancia, Tijeras, and Cedar Crest. Two from the north to south valley of Albuquerque. Temperatures mostly in the upper 70s and the 80s today, and then stormier and cooler, especially for your day on Friday. Then we'll warm back up for the first day of fall, feeling more like late summer.
Oh, well, summer. Somebody doesn't want to leave us alone.
Yeah, well,
Fine.
it looks like it could potentially be the end of monsoon season as we enter Friday, so something we'll keep an eye on.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks a lot, Ryan.